everyone. My name is Savanna Beaurline, and I am from St. Paul, Minnesota. It is an honor to be here tonight because I get to share some of the incredible experiences that I had in the Georgia deployment. Even though we had great losses, despite that, we promoted the pro-life message to so many different communities and changed hearts and minds. Even if we just changed one mind and one vote, that person will be a light to others and will be able to change other minds and communicate the pro-life message to other people. So all these efforts are never in vain. Why we do this is because we believe that to protect the sanctity of human life at all stages, and we should always vote pro-life first. And not many people that say that they're pro-life vote pro-life first. So we were out there encouraging people to vote pro-life first and why they should. And it was so touching to hear some people's stories and their experiences in voting, and also some of their, even some testimonies on their own abortions. So it was wonderful to hear their stories and their testimonies and be able to even build like small communities, even just within one day in Georgia. I learned that even though people were sometimes very rude, they would slam the door in our faces, they would cuss at us, and even rip our literature in front of our face, that we still had an impact. We planted a seed, and even though we may not see that blossom in that moment, hopefully later in life, it'll blossom, and those blossoms will spread, and those seeds will spread of the pro-life message. It is even in times where you feel like that no one is on your side, and sometimes when I knocked on doors, no one said one positive word to me, and it was all very negative. But I realized that still those seeds are being planted, and you're still making a difference. We are not in vain, and we must continue to do it in our communities especially. Even when you feel like that you may lose an election or it is not going to make a difference, it will, even if it's just one mind. And I heard from other students the same thing. They changed multiple minds, sometimes in one day, and sometimes they didn't get one really good, like a positive conversation. But still, they were there, showed up, and had one-to-one conversations with people. And I encourage you all, even in your own small communities, in local elections, we need pro-life legislators in office. And to see those people, those minds changed, really just brought so much joy to us. And to see all these students from all across the states as a pro-life generation together was just so incredible. And now I'm going to have Miles come up and share his testimony.
Thank you, Savanna. My name is Miles Wiley, and I'm from Washington State, and I go to Centralia College. When I went on my first deployment, I was very nervous and really intimidated by the fact that I was having to go up and talk to a complete stranger about my pro-life beliefs. At first, I was really timid and really scared, but the more and more that I talked to people, the more I gained confidence in talking about what I believed in and what is important to us. Going forward into the Georgia deployment, I was able to talk to people and have meaningful conversations with them. One lady that I talked to, she said that she already voted, but I continued to talk to her to find out what her stance on the pro-life issue was. When I talked to her about late-term abortion, she said, I'm against late-term abortion. When I told her that these certain candidates were for late-term abortion, with a very saddened heart, she said, I voted for the late-term abortion candidates. I could tell in her eyes that she was saddened and heartbroken by her own decision. And I know in the future that she's going to make sure her vote is with a pro-life stance. Another gentleman that I talked to, he first off was very kind of hostile to me, but the more I talked to him, the more he opened up to what I was talking about. And when I told him about the importance of voting pro-life first, he said, sign me up. Where do I vote? When we go on deployments like this and we talk to people on an individual level, we're able to communicate to them the importance of voting pro-life first. Many people do not know the importance of voting pro-life first. And so when we have young students showing up to people's doors with enthusiasm about the message of life, people respond. We have people who say, you know what, sign me up, where do I vote? Or people who have a change of heart, who say, you know what, I made the wrong vote this time, but next time, I'm voting pro-life first. Another thing that is so encouraging about these deployments is seeing these young students taking the initiative, standing up for what they believe in, and engaging people on a personal level. I find it so encouraging to see students who walk in super timid, super shy, and walk out of it super excited about going back to their own communities and spreading the pro-life message. These deployments are very important, not only to spreading the information about the importance of voting pro-life first, but also engaging the pro-life generation and helping them stand up for what they believe in. I'm super excited for what happened at the deployments, and I'm super excited for this year to come. Next up, we have Melanie, who's going to share her story.
Thanks, Miles. Hi, y'all. My name is Melanie Salazar, and I go to school at the University of Texas in San Antonio. And in 2017, I refounded my Students for Life group. Since then, I continued to give God my yes, and He's continued to open doors for me. And one of the opportunities that He opened up for me was to be a campaign intern for Students for Life Action over this past summer. And through that opportunity, I got to do pro-life campaigning all over the United States. And one of the powerful experiences that I had was in North Carolina. I met a young mother who genuinely thanked me so much for being at her doorstep and bringing her the pro-life message. And she said to me, "Had you not come to my door, I would not have known who to vote for." And another powerful experience that I had while campaigning was in Michigan. I met an older lady, and as I was giving her my spiel on encouraging her to vote for vote pro-life first, she proceeded to tell me her pro-life testimony. She told me that when she was 16 years old, she was gang raped after a night of roller skating. And she told me that she became pregnant through that assault. And I said to her, "I'm so sorry that that happened to you." And she said to me, "Well, my daughter's not." And this woman proceeded to tell me that she courageously chose life for her daughter and placed her daughter in a loving adoptive family. And not only that, but once she was married, she opened up a maternity home right next door to her house where she housed many young mothers who were in unplanned pregnancies. And so hearing her testimony of becoming pregnant through sexual assault really spoke to me as a survivor of child sex abuse, because I believe that abortion is the greatest form of child abuse there is. And that is why our efforts on these deployments and going forward, especially during an abortion extremist presidency, we need to get loud, we need to be proud, and we need to show that we are the face of the pro-life generation. I believe that in 2021 and during these next 4 years that we cannot fully rely on the government to take care of our neighbor, but we ourselves need to take care of our neighbors in our backyards. We need to fight for that pro-life future by going local, by going to our local abortion facilities, standing on the sidewalk, going to city council, being in those school district meetings, and finding out what is the sex education going on in our local school districts. So I believe that a pro-life future is possible, and the pro-life generation is not going anywhere, no matter who is in office. So I am so proud to be a part of this movement, and thank you.